Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Minorities Podcast, your home for not-so-expert analysis and plenty of shit-talking and people who just hate the whining through the media. Just get over it. I'm your host, JC, and resident Titans fan, and thank God they're on a bye this week. Also a hardcore Astros fan. Joining me, we got...
the Oracle, Chicken Wing. I'm here to stay, and fuck all of you fucktards.
The Oracle is nowhere near first place.
Calm down.
This is Nori, your champion, who will never let Chicken Wing win ever again because I'm just, I'm a hero. And I'm kind of hoping it was the Giants bye week too. Every Sunday I hope it's a bye week. So, yeah.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rob, recovering from COVID, and Lions fan for life. Thank you.
Lies.
Lies he tells.
Good evening. DJ here, Cowboys fan, and I'll make this brief. Fuck Philly forever.
This is Phil. I'm won in actual first place.
Wow.
Who also agrees with fuck Phillies forever.
Yeah.
Oh, facts.
I'm trying to remember, Phil. Who was your baseball team?
The Braves.
Oh, that's why. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We are going to be recapping how we did in Week 6. We're going to get 2 bye-week report cards, one for my Titans and one for DJ's Cowboys, and some Week 7 predictions as well, and kind of talk about everything else in the world of sports here. But let's actually jump into how we did in Week 6. DJ, Chicken Wing, and Rob all went 9-6 on their picks. Nori and myself went 10-5, and Phil 11-4. Extending that lead he's got. So overall, he's got first place, 60 correct picks. Nori's in second with 59. The DJ and Chicken Wing, that happy family, is tied at 54. And Rob and myself are tied at 51. So
I got the tiebreaker, though. Fuck him. All right? That's how that goes.
And again, Mike is 6 away from first place, so we're all winning. So it's good.
Okay.
For now.
It's all that matters. It's all that matters.
Don't worry, me and Phil clearly will be the heroes this season.
No, you won't.
Well,
I'm definitely most worried about you right now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being worried. Appreciate you.
Phil, let's start with you. You were out in the Appalachians when you were making these picks, and that seems to have worked out well for you. But your thoughts on Week 6? Any regrets? Any surprises? This was definitely upset weekend in football. So,
Yeah, there's no more undefeated teams. That was a pretty big shocker, all things considered, especially the teams they fell to. It was. I didn't watch too many games. I did watch the Jags game after the fact, which was wonderful. Very surprised. It was surprising. I did pick them, but it was surprising that they did as well as they did. I don't know that anything else really blew my mind too much besides the 2 undefeateds going down. I would need to follow up again on that, though. Let me see. But go ahead. Someone else. Go ahead. Jump in.
okay. See, I'll go next here. Picks I regret. I can never get the Houston one right. It just doesn't work out for me.
Man.
But I do regret taking Chicago, even though, honestly, like, between Minnesota and Chicago, it was like the lesser 2 evils, and I really thought Chicago would have been the lesser 2 evils, but I was wrong. So, Chicago back to being Chicago, I guess. Surprises, though, was definitely Cleveland getting the game over San Francisco, but that's the thing with San Francisco. Suddenly it's the injury bug, right? Kind of happens every year, it feels like. So it's going to be interesting to see how much this impacts them going forward. So, but I was a bit surprised with how close the Giants kept it against Buffalo. That one did stand out to me. So,
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the Giants, Nori, what you got to say about Week 6?
My biggest regret was definitely picking the Titans because,
Oh my
yeah,
God,
I,
yes.
I just I thought they would beat the Ravens. The Ravens are banged up. The Titans can't do anything right. Every time they're supposed to beat a team they have no business beating, they usually find a way to win or make it competitive. I don't get it. I greatly regret picking the team, and I absolutely regret picking Atlanta because every single time I believe they're a competent football team, they they disappoint me.
Yeah.
I don't really regret anybody else. Like on the podcast, I wanted to pick them over Philly, but like logically, that would not have been smart. Um, but I'm really, really, really glad I was wrong. So I'll definitely. It's a good L to hold it for that pick. Um, the Giants lost to pass interference, so and Terod Taylor is truly an incompetent quarterback. So I'm really tired of hearing he could have been better than Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones, not once but twice in the 1 yard line, absolutely would have scored. So I'm not trying to hear anything else. And yeah, that's all I got for this week.
All right. Chicken wing,
Fuck all of you. I hate you. All my picks should have been right. There you go.
but they weren't. So
But they weren't.
But they
So
weren't. So
Fuck off. The
okay.
pick
So-
I regret the most, the absolute mostest. I don't have any,
So-
honestly.
the Niners.
Lord
No.
have mercy.
No, I really don't. I really don't. I mean, surprised by Houston winning a little bit, but I
I'm not.
mean, that one's a tough one, right? Because that one I was iffy on. You know, Washington kind of surprised me too, the way Atlanta has been playing recently. But like, I don't have like any picks I regret per se. I knew Tennessee was going to lose, so I mean that was obvious. So you know,
I can't believe it. I can't believe the only one to pick the Texans to win. Like I'm really surprised at all of you.
I picked
I
the
think they're a
Texans to win.
better team.
Yeah,
no,
me too. I agree.
You and
Did
DJ
you?
were the only ones to pick the Texans to win.
Goddamn right.
I thought I was the only one to pick the Texans to win.
No, DJ
Nope.
did too.
Nah.
No, DJ did.
I trust CJ Stroud more than whoever the Saints decide to put at quarterback.
Yeah,
And Dennis
yeah,
Cousins still
that's
plays on their
and
team.
see,
So,
just yeah, Stroud's been playing
I
really
know.
good. I was just really shocked
Yep.
about that. Yeah,
Oh, you know me. I can never get that pick right. So, you know. It's,
never.
yeah, no, you're definitely the curse. You're
Yeah.
definitely the curse. Yeah,
You are the curse. You should
He's
have fucking
definitely
picked
curious because
Houston to win.
I did find my surprise pick though was Bengals. That one surprised me. I didn't expect the Seahawks to go down to them after the way the Bengals been playing.
I did. Fuck the Seahawks.
okay. DJ,
All right.
your thoughts on the week?
yeah, I'm gonna go with what Nori said. I absolutely regret picking the Titans. I I thought they would pull out a win. I did, and Derrick Henry had 97 rushing yards. So I mean, just looking at it, that's okay, great. There's a chance. And then they said no, there is no chance because we're the Titans. So that's the the first one. I don't have any other ones that I've read. I wanted to say that the Jets pick was a surprise, but it isn't, only because I've said it for a couple of weeks. The Eagles don't look like they did. The defending NFC champs, they don't look like that, like they're playing. And Jalen Hurts is still turning the ball over at an alarming rate. He's got 7 picks already, and he had 6 picks all last year. So, knowing how good the Jets defense is, it's not really surprising that when you turn the ball over that way, the Jets, even with Zach Wilson, the quarterback, can beat you. So
I mean, you've been calling it. You've been saying it for the longest time. So
I don't know what's going on with him. He's throwing. I mean, and all the interceptions. I mean, he's just throwing it up, hoping somebody on his team catches it. I don't know. It looks bad. We'll see how it goes the rest of the season, but it's terrible. All 3 of those are bad.
Finally catching up to him. So,
Yeah.
all right, Rob, your thoughts on the week?
I mean, the only one I really regret is the one, picking the Saints because F the Saints, and and then believing the Chargers wouldn't out-Charger themselves, but they managed to
Come on, man.
their expectations.
You got to know better than that. you got to know better than that. The Chargers gonna charge her, man. You know that. You know it.
Man, your Cowboys almost outcharged them, so I want to hear it.
Well, Rob, we did that just to make you feel good. We did it to make you feel good. That's all we did. Oh, we're gonna give Rob some hope, and then nope, not anymore.
Man, I am living that meme of the Charger fan. I was like, yes, 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 they're
You
gonna
know,
do it.
I saw her cheering at the end. I was like, oh, she's gonna be on the internet.
He's gonna be soon as as soon as Dallas got the ball back, I was like, yep, she's gonna be a meme.
Yeah. So.
I mean, she's an actress. She should be on there.
I mean, ESPN kept showing herself like something's up. Something is up. They just keep putting her on screen. I'm watching the game like, what the fuck is this lady?
People were calling out that she was a Vikings fan like 3 years ago, and people found the picture and I posted it in our chat. Like, yeah, she's an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the disaster actress, you know, at every national disaster, she happens to be there, right?
So the plot thickens because she was on the Pat McAfee show saying, no, she's from there. She's just that crazy at like her kids' football games and basketball games and everything, soccer games too. So
yeah, it's like
a
politician.
She even have kids though.
Yeah,
like yeah.
Bro,
I mean, it's LA.
I coach
like,
youth softball. My son plays basketball. I've seen crazy youth sports parents, so it wouldn't surprise me like that. Trust me, you hear them. So, but yeah, I did see that picture. I was like, the plot thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah. So
I mean, yeah, you're a Chargers fan, and you're a Vikings fan, and you're a Chargers fan. Now, I just want to see what's next. Like, what dumpster fire are you going to cheer for next? Is what I want to know.
Carolina.
Las Vegas.
I mean,
whoa. Carolina's rebuilding. There's a difference, okay? They are kind of, sort of.
Okay, Chicago. I mean, she was a Viking.
Thank you. That's better. I like that. That's more.
Dumpster fire is the New York Giants. That is a dumpster fire.
Okay, so
we've been rebuilding for 13 years.
You're going to pay your next.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
We're going to see her in a Giants jersey in the next few months probably.
I mean, I don't know because the Bears has gone through a lot of quarterbacks in the past 10 years, so I don't know, man. I'm still sticking with the Bears as dumpster fire.
They're not a dumpster fire though. Like they show that they like how good they are when they're healthy.
Yeah, this year.
It.
Yeah. What about the past 6 years? I mean, they're still absolute dog shit.
I mean, we're looking at this year though.
Okay.
All right. Well, those are our thoughts on Week 6. I'm sure DJ and I will be sharing a little bit more about that when we get to our bye-week report cards. Now, before we get into our overreacting minority segment, there's a couple things I wanted to bring up, and we can discuss these a little bit. First of all, the James Harden situation. Reports are out there. He has not shown up for 76ers practice. And that kind of bothers me. Like, seriously, dude, like you're under contract. Fine, they didn't trade you. What more do you want from this team? So
hold out.
Yeah. Well, hold out for what?
What's he holding out for?
I don't fucking know.
Exactly.
I don't fucking know.
He doesn't show up.
Do it.
He doesn't get paid, and watch the Sixers make the playoffs without him, right? So
right.
I don't know. It's this guy like doesn't play any defense. He's honestly he's like a cancer to every team that he's on. So I'm just tired of all the fucking press about him. Oh, he didn't show up to practice. Ooh,
To be fair, this might be the first time he's actually right though.
What, the 76ers issues?
Mm-hmm. Like you actually dig deep into it, it's the first time he's actually right because he was told, I think Maroney, that's his name. Yeah, he was the same GM who loved him in Houston, and they used to be real tight. He made promises to him on the 76ers that he's just done the complete opposite with twice, and now he's getting outed. So even the Clippers think he's kind of a clown. The Clippers GM, they were going at it, and like, yeah, if you tell a player something, and you lie about it, if you're doing what you think is for the business, that's fine, but just you're gonna get called out. So Harden probably this time for once, he's got a real reason to be pissed off.
But does he really have any leverage here right now? That's the crazy.
Honestly, he had leverage. Just had a reason to be pissed off.
Yeah.
If he sits, he's just cutting
Mhm.
his nose to spite his face. Like, he's rich. He doesn't have to play ever again. He really doesn't. He's got more money than, whatever, right? But,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, the
he
strippers in Houston missed him.
they do. They miss him really. Yeah, because yeah. But yeah, I think he's got a real reason to be mad if I'm being fair, because I don't like the 76ers. So
His trade request was strictly to the Clippers. Is there any other franchise you think he could maybe potentially go to and do something there with?
well, he wanted to go back to Houston until he opened up his mouth, because he talked himself out of that trade. Because
Yeah.
he talked about going to
Yep.
Houston, go back to his MVP form and jacking up points, and that's not what Houston wanted. They didn't even want him as the number one guy. They just wanted him there.
Right.
So the fact that he wasn't really I don't know if he would have taken on a number two role, but I know he talked himself out of that trade. Because Odako, I can't even say his name, but the Houston coach, he wanted him, then he killed it.
Yeah. Do you guys think he's at that stage in his career where he needs to be like a mentor for younger guys because he's in the waning years?
About 5 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been there for a couple of years now.
You could still be
Yeah.
great. You could still be. You don't have to be like old and useless to be a mentor. You could still be, a great player and mentor. Like LeBron mentors a lot of people, and he's been great for
Mhm.
forever.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be washed up to be a mentor.
Do you think he plays this season, or do you think the 76ers eventually go through and trade him?
He definitely plays this season.
He plays this season. There's no way he's missing. I mean, he's rich and all, but there's no way he turned down that much money.
Okay.
He has, because honestly, JC, it's what you just said before. He has no leverage. If he had leverage, like Dame had a lot of leverage over Portland.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't get traded to the team he wanted, he had enough leverage to hey, trade me for real. James is not that guy anymore. He's not even the third best player on his team. So
Mm-hmm.
Other thing I want to discuss with y'all, because this has been hotly debated a bit, is the format of the Major League Baseball playoffs. And Nori, for a while, you're a proponent of this. There was the one playoff wildcard game, one game winner take all. They've since expanded it. 6 teams per league get in, and you play a 2 out of 3. The top 2 teams in each league get a bye, or in essence, a chance to rest, get their starting rotation. But of the 4 teams that got a bye, only one made it into the championship series, past the division series. And that's prompted a lot of people in the media to cry about how are the top teams in baseball not advancing? Like, baseball screwed this up.
then there's your answer. They weren't the top teams then.
Exactly.
They just had the best records. So the best, it's no different than football. So if you get a first round bye, and you're, let's say, 15-1, whatever, right? You get a first round bye, and you lose. So what? That means that now it has to be 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Like, you have to show up. Like, one game, I get it. One game is horrible. Baseball should never be decided on one game. I agree with that 1,000,000%. 2 out of 3? Nah, man, come on.
Well, for
Can't-
the
I can't
wild card
defend
series,
anymore.
I say 2 out of 3. But then you go division series 3 out of 5. Like, so.
I'd be okay with 3 out of 5. But look at the results, and it wasn't even close. You can't even say, "Oh man, if it was 4 out of 7, they would have won." No, man, they got washed. The Dodgers, the Braves, some of these great teams just got murdered. So what they were doing is looking ahead. That's a coaching issue. That's not a playoff issue, dude.
Phil, we mentioned your Braves. I was curious to know your thoughts on this.
So I did some pondering on this, and I'm thinking, do away with the bye week, bring in a couple more teams, and just make it a well-rounded playoff. Because the teams streaking that week off may not help them. It's not football; they typically don't need the recovery time. They can continue to play even if. So do away with the bye and just have them play the lowest seed.
But then someone could argue, well, that one of those top teams has earned the chance to, recover, and they get the advantage of setting the starting rotation that they want going into division series, right? A team that's playing out of the wild card round, if they go 3 games, it kind of throws the starting rotation off, but that's the advantage of playing the top 2, being a top 2 seed, right?
And I get that, but but a week off apparently didn't do any of these teams any good. So I don't
Exactly.
know. I don't know the right answer.
Woo, Kershaw. All right, sorry.
I think it's the way it is. I think it's the way it is now. That the top teams had forever to prepare and get the rotation right. And Rob just nailed a great example, Kershaw. Yeah, I know we all joke around about playoff Kershaw and shit, but dude, no, you're number one guy. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball ever, and even that right now at a high level. He's so the fact he got washed that bad. No, dude, an extra sleep of night wouldn't have made a difference. You just got fucked up by a better team. And it wasn't close. We're not talking about a couple of games that are off by a run or two. Like, they got murked. Like, they didn't belong there.
Then they played
Like,
against a division opponent that just knew him, you know?
Look at the scores. You're right, but you can know somebody, but you still have to know how to beat them.
Yeah.
But you have to show up.
You have to do it. You have to do it. You have to show up, right? They looked ahead. All these teams looked ahead. It's just a wild card. Like, okay, because they're not used to fighting wild cards. Because the NFL, they give you their all on a wild card. Wild cards are usually a wash the other way because they know, they respect the wild card. Baseball does not respect the wild card. That's why they're going to keep getting hammered. The record don't matter. When the playoffs start, everybody's 0-0.
Agreed. That's
Like,
where the
they're
division
not getting
series
that.
set, you know? Like, Baltimore...
They're not getting that, man.
I'm not surprised Baltimore lost the division series. That is a very young team. And honestly...
Overachieved.
Definitely overachieved, but they got a really great young core that they're going to be atop of that division for years to come, honestly.
I agree. I sadly agree. You're right. Yeah.
The Braves, honestly... I'm sorry, Phil. The Braves are just no excuse. Like this,
They choked. They just choked.
They choked. There's no reason for that. I mean, they have. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's
Yes.
I imagine it's what nobody feels like the Giants with right now.
And Rob, your Dodgers are in the same boat. So it's.
I 100% agree. I'm like,
Dodgers choked like crazy. Like I thought they were gonna. I thought it was gonna be the opposite. I thought they were gonna sweep them. They got beat like they didn't belong there. Like, and then people talk about the format.
People that whine about that, and they're sitting there showing the overall records. Like, this was the first year where everybody played everybody in baseball, you know, and it really kind of balanced things out too. I think so. You really got some records, and yes, they won so many games. Yes, they're this record, but you got to show up. You know, it was. Hell, the division series Astros Twins, the Twins manager's complaining about the shadows in his home stadium. Like, there's no fucking excuses. Both teams were playing with those shadows. It didn't stop Houston from scoring.
Was he complaining about that when they were shitting on everybody during the season?
No, of course not.
So he
So
he complains about the game time that TV sets, and then he's got to play in the shadows. Like, so what? You know, you had Sonny Gray, and the Astros took him deep with the same shadows. So,
what a privilege talking about playing in shadows. What a privileged ass team, dude. That's the worst problem you have. Come on, dude. Do you hear the privilege?
Yeah, I know.
Playing in shadows. Come on, man.
Got to show up. It's playoff time. So, but yeah, the Phillies got their first two. They're up 2-0. Let's see how different that's going to be shifting back to Arizona. Rangers took the first two in Houston, but Houston is up right now. I think I scores 8-4 last I looked at it. So in the 8th inning. So I just have a feeling this Lone Star series is going to go 6 or 7 at this point. So this is going to be crazy. So, and I have one other thing to talk about, but it does involve DJ's Cowboys. So we'll get to that in a minute. So, but with that, we'll move into our overreacting minority segment here.
No, fuck DJ. I hate him.
Take it away.
I hate him.
All right.
Hate. All right. So, JC.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I got a question for you, sir.
Okay.
So, knowing that your team is on a bye, you're gonna have to give your report card.
Yes.
Your next 5 games run you all the way to December. So, would you agree, or am I overreacting, that if Mike Vrabel doesn't produce a positive record in the next 5 games, he should be on the hot seat?
I was going to say this in my report card, but I'll expand on it later. I do not think Vrabel is the problem with what's going on in the Titans right now.
Okay.
So, and I'll talk a bit more about that when we get to the report card. So.
Okay. Rest of you fellas, what do you think?
I kind of agree with JC a little bit. I mean, at a certain point that you do have to produce, but I don't think Vrabel is giving a competitive roster, and I think they're way overdue to look at the younger quarterbacks they have. That is a coaching problem. Like, I don't know what Tannehill's doing. The guy's not keeping him in games.
No,
Are
and
the
he's
other
hurt right
quarterbacks
now.
just that
So-
bad?
And he's hurt right now too. So that's going to be the big thing. He got hurt in the
Yeah.
game against. That really kind of cost us. He got hurt. We couldn't make the comeback against Baltimore.
Which
Like,
I don't wish injury on anybody, right? Tannehill
Yeah.
seems like a nice guy
Never.
or whatever, but
Never,
they should
never.
have been. They should have been. They should have other people ready. Like
Yeah.
He is the weakest link.
you have Malik there, you have mayonnaise there. Like I don't.
What the fuck? What the fuck? I was not ready for that.
Pick.
I
Ooh.
was-
Wow.
Wow.
You guys-
I'd rather have.
Are you
The way-
guys not aware that
I-
he
I'm
like
aware.
puts mayonnaise in like disgusting things, and they literally gave him a contract?
No.
Yeah,
Oh, I was not
aware
That was a
of
big
it.
headline
That's-
after we drafted
oh.
him. But yeah.
That's actually
It's
funny.
horrible. I'll wait till you guys are in something, but I'm gonna send you, Mike. There's during the draft he put mayonnaise in his coffee,
Yep.
which I know people do that for
What?
keto, whatever.
Oh, I've
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
that. That was him.
Yeah.
That
Oh
was him.
god.
Travis, yeah.
He
So-
put mayo.
Yes.
He put mayo and two other really disgusting, horrible things that don't go together, and then Hellman's they gave him a fucking contract. Yeah, Maria's walking
course
around
they
like
did.
absolutely appalled and disgusted. No, I'm appalled and disgusted. I had to fucking see it. So
Just yes.
yeah,
That's wild.
no, no. He's more known for that than actually getting a goddamn NFL snap. So let's see if he can. I mean, he was a
Mm.
second round pick, right? Third?
Second, third, yeah. He's pretty high
Second,
up,
yeah.
so, yeah.
You think highly enough of him having Malik there? Like I don't know, man. I think they
No,
definitely should have been.
I'll have more to say later, believe me, especially with the way Malik performed when he came in. So yeah.
And Jason, you know how I felt about this. I told you this last year. They should have kept AJ Brown, and they should have just. worked
Hell
with the
yeah, they should
quarterbacks. That was stupid.
It-
Stupid. Bad mismanagement, bro.
They knew
Sorry.
AJ. Okay, again, I'll say they knew AJ wasn't going to resign. That's why they went out. They just got rid of him because they knew he wasn't going to come back.
No, I don't. I just don't think they wanted to pay the money because they had the rights right there. All he wanted was money. He's like, hey, I'm your best player by and far here. Pay me, and like he earned that money. Should have paid him.
Yeah,
That's
well,
my
that's why
guess
that
on that
GM.
one,
That's
too.
why that GM's fired, right? So,
Agreed. Yeah.
and to be honest with you, if that
Part of it.
Burks isn't hurt right now, maybe it's a different story. But again, something we'll talk
Hopkins is
about.
a shell of what he was before he got there.
Yeah.
Also, I mean,
And that's
That-
the thing. We
that's-
got injuries on the receiving end of it, so it's all reliant on Hopkins right now. Like he needs some help. you know?
Washed.
So
Washed. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have you seen anything? Have you seen him do something?
I mean,
Yes, no?
things, yeah.
Nah.
just a couple. Just a couple.
I mean, if they generate wins, I mean, that'd be great. But anyways.
All right.
Cool.
So, gentlemen, how do you feel about the Lions being the best team in the NFC right now?
Not an overreaction.
Love it.
I'm not.
Love
Yeah.
it.
It's not
At this
an
moment, I would
overreaction.
say they are.
Yep.
Not at all.
Just
Yeah.
objectively speaking.
I personally still think it's the 49ers, but I think the Lions and 49ers are going to be the NFC Championship. I really do.
True.
I think the
still believe
49ers
that.
are. I think the 49ers are fully healthy, and Detroit fully healthy. I want to see them go at it and see what happens. But I still
Oh,
think the 49ers edge them out. But from the Lions being like a joke to where they've come the last 2-3 years to arguably now being talked about being the best team in the NFC in my lifetime, I've never had that conversation with Barry Sanders, with Calvin Johnson. They've never been considered the best team in the NFC. So the fact that we're in that conversation is fucking dope.
In the same conversation that the New England Patriots are in poverty right now. Anyway, that's not a topic. I just wanted to throw that out there. 'Cause
Yeah.
fuck them.
They are.
Fuck them.
They are.
Speaking of the Patriots, Belichick needs to retire regardless of the record this year.
No,
I don't know about that.
Needs to
Overreaction.
retire.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Like, just call it. It's been a good run. 6 championships. You did the Lord's work.
I think when you retire, that means that you don't have anything else to offer in the NFL. Like as a head coach, like you don't understand the game anymore. The game has passed you up. But if you're all being objective, you mean to tell me that if Bill Belichick goes to the Chargers, that team is not considered like great again?
Shit, put
Oh, by
Belichick
far.
in
with
Chicago.
those or better yet, Bill Belichick on the Cowboys with all that talent.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't do that.
I mean,
Don't hurt me.
so that's my point. Like I love certain coaches. Like I knew Tom Coughlin. There's a certain point the game passed you up. Bill Parcells, the game's passed you up. Like fucking who was that? Who was that head coach that Dallas had? For
Gampo?
the no. They were 13-3 in 07.
Oh, Wade Phillips.
Wait,
That
Phillips.
Wade Phillips. The game passed you up at a certain point, right?
Mike Shanahan.
Mike Shanahan, thank you. Exactly. There's so many good ones that like the game is just like evolved. Sean Payton, just bless his heart, doesn't realize the game's passed him up. So he's one of
They'll
those.
learn.
Right. Well, he's learning now. Because
He'll
Nathaniel
learn.
Hackett did better with that Denver team than Sean Payton has. But my point is like,
Which is
no,
crazy.
Bill Belichick's definitely not retired. He just needs to find the right situation and somebody to open up the piggy bank. Because if Dallas is smart and the Chargers are smart, they monitor the situation with New England, and then they're like, hey, you want to come over here? Because he automatically makes that team tremendously better. If he just coaches, because the coaching adjustments are still great, but give him a good roster, and let's see what he can do. And I
This
think
is-
he's a huge upgrade over both of them.
This is
Okay.
similar to a question I asked last week. If the Patriots don't make the playoffs, Belichick is out as coach. Like Nori said, he said last week, I don't think he'll be fired. He'll probably be asked to step down. And that's probably what he'll do.
Exactly.
He'll step down and just take a break, do some TV work, maybe go back to coaching later on, So who knows?
Yeah. I'm not insinuating that he's just bad now. No. I don't want to misunderstand, but there's got to be a
No,
point where
the
you
team
just
is
got to
bad.
pack it up.
He's not.
Facts.
I don't know
Huge
if he's
facts.
there yet. I think he has a lot to offer. There's some coaches who they were kind of a one-hit wonder. They needed to go,
Yeah.
whatever. And he's I don't think he's in that category, to be honest.
Okay. Got you. Okay. All right. So, if Aaron Rodgers does make it back into playing form and is playing with the Jets will be going and making it to at least the AFC Championship round.
Overreaction.
That's an overreaction.
That's an overreaction.
He's got a like the guy can do jumping jacks right now. Let's not talk about the AFC Championship game Aaron playing. Like, yeah, he's
Yeah,
walking out of
seriously.
a boot. That's cool.
How
But like,
First off,
that
I don't,
motherfucker.
How about we just get him back on the field first, and then
Yeah,
we
like,
see what he
I
can
don't-
do, and then we can go from there.
If me at 5'10", 280 pounds can beat you at hopscotch, you should not be playing football right now. So
he tore his Achilles. There's no way he comes back this year. And if he even
Yeah.
considers coming back, it's because the Jets are in the playoff hunt. And if they're in their playoff hunt, it's Zach Wilson that got him there. Why would you disrupt that? So
Because he tried that new procedure that's supposed to be done with
Okay,
ACLs.
okay, yeah, and he was
Lord
immunized
have
from
mercy.
COVID too before he got vaccinated. So don't give me that bullshit.
I'm not
I'm not
I'm not
trusting
arguing the
Aaron
man's
Rodgers'
health. I'm
medical
just saying.
prowess, okay? No, I'm just not. Okay.
I just feel some
Yeah,
hatred come out of you.
I'm not
JC.
gonna. Well, look, this is the same guy who's like, I'm going to go in the dark room, and he goes in this dark room. That's his dark retreat. I mean, no, he's doing what he does. He basically has conversations. He says things, buzzwords. He gets attention. They put him on TV, and now we're talking about Aaron Rodgers while he walks around in his fucking boot, as
Well-
opposed to talking about the people who are on the field playing football. I don't give a damn about any of
None
that.
of us
It's
are
an
medical
overreaction.
degrees, but I'll trust Ricky Williams with medical advice before I trust Aaron Rodgers with any.
exactly. Like, it's
Damn.
cool.
So,
It's
yeah.
cool he's out of the boot.
Yeah.
But if by some miracle he could start I want to see him in a seven drop. Let's see how he does that fast. Let's see if he can evade the defender. Because if he can't play the quarterback position, if he's just walking around giving out Gatorade, that's not a fucking.
Yeah.
And again, Zach Wilson very
What's the point?
possibly might be the hot hand. Zach Wilson owes a lot of his progress to Aaron Rodgers. Because I saw the HBO Hard Knocks, and I know I don't know if it was for TV, whatever, but it doesn't matter. But Aaron Rodgers really, really helped Zach Wilson just strengthen what he was good at, and that might have been a coaching issue with Robert Saleh the last year because maybe he was overcoaching him. Maybe he didn't like the guy's mobile. He's more mobile than he is allowed to do. Maybe the offense was too conservative. I don't know. But Nathaniel Hackett seems like a better coordinator, and he seems like a better match with Zach Wilson. And Garrett Wilson is that much better. The defense is more comfortable. They're just a better team. So if he's the hot hand and he plays like he has been playing the last 2 games, then why would Aaron coming back is just going to disrupt everything, and it's going to shatter and it's going to shatter any confidence Zach Wilson built.
Yep.
That'd be bad if he did that.
Let Zach run the team this year. He's got you got the hot hand right now.
This-
Don't disrupt it. So
Go into your dark room, and we'll see you next year.
yeah,
How about that?
just yeah, exactly.
Word up. All right. The Ravens are too inconsistent to be considered contenders in the AFC.
Absolutely not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction.
Yeah, especially with the teams this year. Look, let's face it. The only reason they're in first place right now is because Pittsburgh had a bye last week. Let's be honest. So,
Nice.
yeah,
He's like,
so,
you got ahead because they weren't here. That's
Yeah.
it.
pretty much. And Baltimore played the Titans, who don't know how to travel to London properly. So, you know.
Got you.
Oh,
So
no.
speaking of inconsistencies with refereeing are currently hurting the
Almost.
sport.
That's an overreaction. The
That's
inconsistent
been,
refereeing has been around for decades.
Not an overreaction for the last 10
Yeah,
years.
this is normal. This is normal behavior now.
They
It's almost
changed
a cliche.
They changed. They actually, it was so bad with the playoffs and them. They changed the rule for looking at the clock or double checking their work, and then they're like, "No, just kidding. We're gonna go backwards. We don't want them double checking their work anymore. We just know they're gonna be wrong."
We're not going to review.
And-
We're gonna fine. We'll let you review
Yeah.
interference penalties. Oh, but we're just gonna
Exactly.
We're not going to overturn
For
a single
1 year, they were allowed to do it. Oh, it's taking too long.
Exactly.
Like
because you knew referees were not going to overturn their own interference calls. That's all.
exactly.
Exactly.
It was gonna be. So,
And they don't want to show how often they will be wrong. It is still an old boys club, and they won't evolve like fucking baseball's evolving faster than you. That's terrifying.
yeah. That
Baseball's
being
an
said,
old sport,
baseball,
too.
a foul tip needs to be
That's
a
my
fucking
point, though.
reviewable play. Fix that,
Yeah.
Major League Baseball. Seriously.
That's my
Alright.
point, though.
I got
Baseball's
you.
even older, and they're evolving faster.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
All right, so despite the current record, the Browns are the best team in the AFC North.
Not an overreaction.
That is correct.
Overreaction.
sir. They are.
Ooh,
Oh,
I want to hear this.
So
go ahead, buddy.
they ain't my favorite team by far, but Steelers are looking good. They the games I've seen them play in, they seem competitive. They're missing a few pieces, but I think they may make a run for that division.
Phil,
Okay.
I
said-
love you. Ain't no fucking way you think a team with Matt Canada as the offensive coordinator is better than the Browns. Ain't no fucking
Thank
way.
you. Thank
my
you.
dude, I love you.
Thank you.
But
I understand. Hey,
no,
I've been
no.
wrong before.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sold on the Browns yet. I don't.
But
It's not.
look,
I mean,
look who they just. Look, granted, a lot of shit had to go their way, but look who they just beat. Look at their resume. They've beaten the Bengals. They've beaten the 49ers. Both teams ranked higher than them. So if anybody's disrespecting the league right now, it's actually the Browns.
Well,
That's
hey,
fair.
here-
That's fair.
Look at
here's
the
what I'm
resume.
gonna
Look at
say.
the resume this year. All I'm saying is look at the resume this year because Jim Schwartz is a way better defensive coordinator than he is a goddamn head coach.
That's
And,
That's
fact.
correct.
I say it's an
So-
overreaction only because the Bengals are starting to get hot. Now they got a bye to get healthy, and Joe Burrow is finally getting back to his form, right? So it's gonna come down probably between the Browns and Bengals. I'm not sold on the Ravens winning that division. I'm just not, despite the record.
I'm
of
not
4-2.
anymore. I agree.
Yeah. But yes, I did say it. The Steelers could play spoiler, as long as Matt Canada's not calling plays.
I don't know how.
And hold on,
just-
Jason, we'll talk about the Hold on,
Yeah.
we'll talk about the Bengals getting hot. They beat Seattle by 4 points.
But it's a win's a
Yeah.
win, right? I mean, they're kind of
Win's a
stumbling
win.
into the bye week, recovering from
Win's a
injuries.
win.
Now they just got to get healthy, you know. So, yeah.
I love
Look,
them.
look,
I'm
if-
not a believer in them yet. I'm just
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
If
And
Kenny Pickett can call audibles and continue audibly and do whatever he wants, then I'll give you that. But if Matt Canada is going to keep on calling plays, then no, the Steelers aren't winning that.
Yeah,
There's
I will
no
not-
way.
I will-
Matt
yeah,
Canada's tough.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll never believe in that team with Matt Canada
No.
because he's shown to be massively incompetent.
I
He's
would
shown
love for the Steelers to give Chris Boswell play calling duties. Let the kicker call the plays. He'll be fucking
it.
great.
Or literally anybody else.
Yes.
here's
Anyone available can replace Matt Canada and then do a better job. I don't care who it is. Just find someone and get him out.
I'm just saying when you got an edge rusher like Myles Garrett and how he handled Trent Williams, T. Williams, and just threw him down. Listen, that's somebody special. That defense is no
Well,
joke.
And And plus Trent Williams, arguably a top 3 tackle in the NFL, just called Myles
Correct.
Garrett a future Hall of Famer.
Facts.
Like, so maybe Myles Garrett is finally has somebody who's using him fucking correctly, which is what I've been waiting for 5 years.
Yep.
Very true.
Here's the interesting thing: they're arguably the most competitive division in the NFL, with every one of the teams possibly making a run at this point in the season. I don't know if there's any other division that's like that right now.
All right, well, I have 3 more. Assuming that the Niners win the division, the Rams will beat out the Seahawks for the playoff spot in the NFC West.
Not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction.
Nope.
Seahawks have to show they could beat great teams yet. They haven't done that.
Yes, they do. They haven't.
Geno Smith's got to reclaim that crown, man. He's got to get back there.
He does.
I want Geno Smith to be the king. That's the only reason why I'm hesitating. I really want him to do that.
I figured you would, hating ass. Anyway, so yesterday,
near the West.
calm down. Yesterday, Julio Jones signed with the Eagles. Here is the take: Julio Jones will not make the same type of impact to the Eagles as Emmanuel Sanders did with the Niners on their 2020 Super Bowl run.
Oh, that's not even a hot take.
That's not a hot take. There's no way in hell.
No.
He was the clear number 1 option last year with the Titans, and ask JC how that went.
Yeah.
Okay, as somebody who had to, was excited for Julio Jones getting signed to the Titans, and AJ Brown was a big reason why he went to Tennessee. Yeah, that didn't work out. It's not going to work out in Philly either. So, yeah. Yeah.
So not an overreaction, not a hot take. That's a good point.
Wash.
Alrighty.
How many more you got left? Because I got one for y'all too.
This is my last one. My last one, undisputed, Dolphins are the best team in the NFL.
Not an overreaction.
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 Ooh.
Yeah, I wouldn't say undisputed.
I say it's an overreaction.
There's definitely a dispute there.
So you can make some arguments. Sure.
You could argue multiple teams as the best team in the NFL. You could argue the Bills. You could argue Miami. You could argue the Lions. You could argue the 49ers.
The Chiefs.
I mean, they lost to the Lions.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe Sunday night we'll find out. If our opinions change on Miami.
Like, can the Chiefs beat everybody? Yes, they can. But it's about right now, week 7. I think it's any of those 4 teams you could say is the best in the NFL. And be like, all right, cool, you're right.
All right.
But I wouldn't put Philly there anymore. I wouldn't, because they haven't
no way
beaten a great team. But the 49ers have done it. Yeah.
Okay.
Lions have done it, right?
Well, here's one for y'all. The NFL MVP at the end of the season will be Jared Goff.
Overreaction.
Overreaction.
Clear overreaction.
I'm a Lions fan. No, that's definitely an overreaction.
I mean, he's kind of played well, so he's
nah.
Overreaction.
Okay.
I can definitely make this argument right here. CMC is the clear front runner because you notice how once he dropped, Shanahan doesn't trust his other 2 running backs. He doesn't trust Mason. He doesn't trust number 3. So
I get that, but historically, sports writers and whoever likes to say that.
Okay, so here let's try this. If you take CMC off the 49ers, you still have Debo, you still have Elijah, you still have a very, 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 very good team, right? Who maybe is not the best, but they're great, right? But you take Tua off Miami, now what?
Okay, you brought up
Mike White.
So you brought up a good point.
Mike White, Mike the God, Mike White the God. Thank you, Rob.
Okay,
damn it.
So you brought up a good point, Nori. So take that same example you just gave me and look at the Niners before CMC showed up there, and then after they traded to get him there.
When they won the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship?
No, last season. You notice how they were struggling the first half of the season, and then once CMC got there, it was like night and day.
No, having the best running back in the NFL helps you. I'm talking most valuable player. You'll still be very good.
His value alone.
Miami wouldn't even make the playoffs without Tua.
I mean, you just argue Mike White, though, my guy. I'm just sorry.
Come on, man, for real, for real. I love Mike White. He would have to prove that.
We want
Give
him to
him
be
a
great,
chance.
but he's not great
Give him
yet.
a chance.
He's not great yet.
Right.
We
Right.
want him
You
to be,
can-
but he's not great
You
yet.
can even argue Tyreek. You can even argue Tyreek Hill.
Oh, for sure.
As an
Absolutely.
It's
MVP.
all psychological.
If anybody would
Absolutely.
win a non-quarterback MVP this year, would be Tyreek Hill, because the numbers he's putting up are like about to beat
Obnoxious.
Calvin Johnson, which is
Yes.
terrifying.
Which is
Absolutely.
ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. Like the player that has the most impact to the team, Goff is like nowhere near the top 20.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, I think he's
Well, I don't know about
This year,
Yeah, I don't know about
Hold on a
that.
second, buddy.
I didn't say
I'm
all
looking
that.
at all positions. I'm looking at all positions, boys. I'm not looking at
Relax.
just the quarterback. I'm not looking at not looking just at the quarterback because Tyreek Hill's an argument for sure.
Okay. Tyreek, CMC.
Jared Goff, to the value he's putting for his team and how good he's playing, yeah, you could argue MVP. I don't think he'll win it, but you could argue it.
I mean, Mike, look at it this way. If you take Jared Goff off the Lions, who do they have who's their backup?
Fuck if I know. I don't give a shit about the Lions.
Exactly.
That's Rob's
That's
team.
the point. That's the point.
That's
So,
Rob's team.
They don't
He
do
should know.
shit without
if
Jared Goff at this
Detroit
point. Who's their backup?
if Detroit gets the top seed in the NFC, does Jared Goff win MVP?
I would say so.
Yes. Yes.
I'd say so.
I have
actually.
to say
The top
you
seed?
almost have to
Over
do
Yes.
St.
Top
Brown.
seed, NFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yes.
Over
Top
St.
seed.
Brown.
Yeah, you.
With the rest of the
'Cause-
Lions schedule? Yeah, JC, yeah. Yes, I agree. Yeah.
So
And Mike, did you say over St. Brown? Is that what you said?
Yeah, over St. Brown as the MVP.
I mean, who's throwing in the ball?
Really? That's what we're doing? Who's starting
Look,
the
I'm
this
saying.
fucking guy?
It's-
This
It's
fucking.
a
How
quarterback.
many rings you got,
You know
Chuck?
what it is.
How many rings you got, Chuck? Sorry.
Who's throwing the ball, man? That's all I'm gonna say. You know how they look at it. I don't make the rules. I just know what they are. Who's throwing the fucking
I
ball?
get it.
That's all.
I hate the argument that the quarterback throws him the ball. Like I absolutely hate the argument, 100%, no questions asked. But I mean, if you're looking at like total stats, like St. Brown's producing up some nice numbers right now.
But it's not just the quarterback throwing the ball.
Sure.
It's them making the adjustments. And I'll use this as Giants fan example. Terod Taylor was too fucking stupid to make the right audible on the 1 yard line twice. So there's a reason he's a backup quarterback. Now, if you have Jared Goff in there, or Tua, or Daniel Jones, even Daniel Jones, they would have been competent enough to fucking score on the 1 yard line. You have to be really, really fucking stupid to score on the 1 yard line. Like, you have to be Matt Canada bad to not score on the goddamn 1 yard line. So it's not just throwing the ball; it's making the audibles, it's making the adjustments, it's seeing what the defense is doing.
Okay.
And Jared Goff has been to the Super Bowl. The guy gets a lot of disrespect.
people forget he was a #1 pick at one point.
Right.
You know? So
Yep.
it's-
Oh no. There's no argument to that. Like,
Yeah.
like
And he even got to the Super Bowl with the Rams. He even got there.
with the Rams, absolutely. So I guess the question is was it the environment that Goff was in that kind of held him back as far as being successful is concerned?
It was the whole Rams organization, including
The
McVay,
Rams, yeah.
They
Yeah,
lost their
it
patience.
pretty much
They lost their
was,
patience.
Now, honestly, like the trade, yes, it was a talent for talent. Stafford for Goff goes to Detroit. He's got something to prove. He's really immersed himself with that city.
I mean, they
They've
won
embraced
because they
him.
won a title when they traded him, so they won.
So,
So,
I mean,
That's true.
great trade, obviously. Now, Goff, looking at that, like, okay, my turn. I got something to prove. And
Got you.
yeah,
and everybody needs to be in the right system. So Goff probably needed to be in a different system when he's in, clearly, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's what I think.
Okay.
does it matter?
So-
too? Yeah.
So last question, same thing, same situation. Had Matthew Stafford actually stayed in Detroit, but now he's with
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell, would Detroit be more of a talk of the town last season instead of this season or 2 seasons ago when he first got
No,
there?
because Detroit had to be even open to trading their starting quarterback. They still would have wanted to dump him off somebody. Matt Stafford was not going to retire there. Detroit had to be
No.
open to trading
My
him.
question is would they be more successful or be successful faster had Stafford stayed?
No, they would have been stuck in the same
No,
rut, pretty
no.
much. I mean,
Okay.
No,
Stafford
Because-
would have been the talent much like the Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson. Retired, before people thought.
The Lions wanted something new, just like the Rams at one point wanted
Rose
something
win
new.
8-5. There we go. Let's go. Sorry.
they almost blew it. No, that's funny.
Gross.
Okay.
Shut it.
Gross.
Whatever.
Anyways, back to the whole Goff Stafford thing. I think Jared Goff going to the Lions meant that he had to become notable. Like, he didn't have a choice in this situation, right? Like,
Yeah, of
both
course.
teams were like, okay, well, we're gone. Like, he has to make the best of the situation, and I think it was an awakening to him.
Mhm.
Like, you go into LA as a number one draft pick,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of high expectations. Once you get traded, all those expectations are gone, right?
Yeah.
All that pressure is now gone. You're traded to a team that is a bottom tier team. You don't have those expectations. Then you get a coach that has,
Mhm.
some belief in you.
Mm-hmm.
That's now you have the perfect anime character, right? Like you have the dude who's discarded from a team that just went to the Super Bowl, and
Mhm.
now he's got to prove it with the new team, and it's the underdog story, and like everything just lined up for Goff. So,
Rob, did you just say the Lions were winning the Super Bowl? Is that what you just
oh,
told us?
I am definitely saying this is the anime arc, and then at some point there's gotta have to be some like adversity here. So like something tragic's gonna happen. And yes,
Well, it's
Lions win
it's
Super Bowl.
Lions. It's the Lions, so that's guaranteed. Something tragic's gonna happen.
Why would you say that?
'Cause it
Also,
always does.
man.
a Lions fan, so I can say this with pride.
This guy. This fucking guy.
It feels like the guy in fucking watching Disney is like, I bet you his brother's gonna throw him off a cliff. That's fucking Phil.
Okay. You know what?
Look at that stampede. He's about to die.
You know what, Rob?
Yeah.
Tragic story question for you. I got you. So,
Okay.
what's more of a compelling story? Let's say the Super Bowls is going to be Lions and Bills. What's more of the compelling story? Bills finally get one after losing 4 straight, or the Lions finally get one in franchise history?
That is history.
Lions is much
Franchise
more
history.
compelling.
Lions.
Much more compelling.
Yeah.
Have the Lions ever been to the NFC Championship game?
I don't believe so, but I'll double check that for you.
I know for sure they've never been to a Super Bowl. I can't recall if they've ever been to an NFC Championship.
I mean,
check
Lions,
that.
sure. I mean,
Question.
they've been a
Maybe with
circus
Barry
for such
Sanders,
a long
maybe.
time.
I don't think so. Hold on. We shall check.
Let's see.
Well,
Before the Super Bowl era, no, they never made it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I had it backwards. Before the Super Bowl era, yes, they had 4 championship years. So when the start of the Super Bowl 1 came in, nah, they haven't touched it.
Okay.
They've only made playoffs actually twice the past 10 seasons.
See if that turns around. All right. Well, let's move on now to our bye week report cards, and there's 2 for us. I'll be doing the one for the Tennessee Titans, and DJ will handle the one for the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started here. The Titans are 2-4 going to the bye. Good enough for last place in the AFC South. Hey, great! Congratulations, guys.
Amazing.
Not surprised.
Biggest frustrating part of this is that they put up a graphic actually during the game in London this past Monday, and that is basically simple. If Derrick Henry gets the ball 20 plus times, the Titans are winning. When he's not, they're not winning, and it's just become increasingly frustrated over the years that you got to get things established with Henry. Eventually he's going to break one. Eventually he's going to get open. The quarterback thing is frustrating. Yes, Tannehill's hurt, but Malik Willis had a chance to show us what he could do, and he looked just like he did last year. It's like he hasn't improved at all. Now, obviously, that is going to be the biggest discussion. Is Tannehill going to be healthy? Because when we get off of the bye, we have 2 games in 4 days. We have a Sunday game and a Thursday game back to back. Let's schedule it right now. Where is it? Let's see. We have Atlanta at home and then on the road on a Thursday against Pittsburgh. And honestly, if Tannehill is not ready to go for that, let's throw Will Levis in there because I don't believe Malik Willis can get things done. Yes, throw in Mr. Mayonnaise, as you guys said. So,
Gross.
it has been very frustrating, obviously, being a Titans fan. I even proposed that if the season's lost, try and trade Tannehill, but now that he's hurt, I don't think that's even going to happen. So, And I think this is potentially the last year we have Tannehill on the roster. So, win or lose, whatever happens, it's time to move on. So, I think Will Levis is the future at this point because Malik Willis just hasn't shown me anything. Grade-wise, the Titans are getting a D- for me so far.
They got the D.
They got the D.
Good.
Yes, they did.
We're gonna give them enough.
As far as games that they're going to win, if the game is not played at Nissan Stadium, you might as well chalk it up to an L. And that's the way I'm looking at the rest of the season. So, give you my strategy right now. The only 2 games they've won have been in Nissan Stadium. Yes, London was technically a home game, but it wasn't a Nissan. It was in Tottenham Hotspur. So, now, we mentioned this earlier. Vrabel is not the issue. Yes, there's been some horrible roster setup, GMs, that's been in flux. But also, I'm a firm believer that ultimately the players got to go out and perform. And there's a lot of things that the players just don't do. They're not... Can we get some decent blocking for the goddamn quarterback for King Henry? So, but Vrabel's not the issue. I don't think he should be gone. He's got to have a chance to build. He's got to get the right roster around him. So, that's my thought of the Titans. So, all right, DJ, your Cowboys, your turn. What you got?
Yes, sir. Well, they're 4-2, second in the NFC East, 1 game behind the Eagles. We'll start with the Chargers game since it was most recent. I did see some good things. I saw a Brandon Cooks sighting. That was great. I'm happy that they're actually getting him more involved. He had 4 catches, had a touchdown catch, jet sweep for 14 yards, so that was nice. Just get the ball in his hands. That's something that I've been hearing and saying for weeks. You brought him here to be basically a threat. He's a superstar. He's always been consistent. You brought him here to be a threat and get the ball in his hands, and we really weren't seeing it. So now I'm glad they're actually doing that. I hope they keep doing it. But at least at this point I have seen it. CeeDee Lamb is doing what CeeDee Lamb does. Obviously a frustrating game when they played the Niners, but he bounced back, had over 100 yards receiving. He's the wide receiver 1. Seems that that's established, which is good. I'm going to give a shout out to Brandon Aubrey. Dude does not miss. He missed 1 extra point in week 1 and then hasn't missed a field goal since. And it's nice that we can actually have reliable kicking. Something that McCarthy doesn't have to give a whole lot of thought to. 55-yarder, 40-yarder, whatever it is, we know we can put him in there. He'll hit it. That's of course the positive notes. Defense, minus the 2 losses we have, defense has done well. They're dominating bad teams, but that's what you should do to bad teams is dominate them, and our defense is doing that. Taking the ball away as we usually do, 5th in the league on that. So as far as that goes, those are the positives. Negatives, red zone touchdowns. We just really don't score those on a regular basis. We don't really know how to do that. We're 26th in the league for red zone touchdowns, and after the Chargers game, that's where we were. Before the Chargers game, we were 30th because we actually got a touchdown in the red zone against the Chargers. So that helped out a lot. Run defense, we still need to work on that. 4 games out of this season, it looked like our run defense was at least decent, but the other 2 games that we lost, 170 yards to the Niners and 222 to the Cardinals, which is just ridiculous. You're not winning playoff games if you're going to give up rushing yards like that. You've got to clean that up. And of course, my number 1 gripe, which has been my gripe for years, undisciplined football. Penalties. We're the number one penalized team in the league with 46. So that's something that's got to be cleaned up because, as we saw, that can lose you ball games. And even though we beat the Chargers, we had 11 penalties, which is ridiculous. Double-digit penalties, and it happened last year. It's happening again, so it doesn't seem like anything's been fixed because there's not really accountability. Mike McCarthy is not the guy to hold people accountable. He's a yes man, which is another con that I have, but he's the head coach. So I don't really have anything I can do about that at this point. So my grade is a C+ based on that.
Are you also of the ilk to me that Micah Parsons just shut the hell up on people complaining about the Cowboys in the media?
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought that up. I do want to jump into that.
Okay.
I
Oh, me
really,
too.
I
Me
really,
too.
no, yeah. No, you're good. You're good. Let me get. I'm gonna get this going, and then
You
when
go
I'm
ahead.
done, by all means,
You
have
go
at it.
ahead.
All right.
Yes,
Go ahead.
yes. So, yes, Michael Parsons just needs to shut up. Seriously, and I only say that. I mean, I love him. I love him. Great player. I'd easily say the best player on our team. But if you're a leader, like you're supposed to be, then you shouldn't be paying attention to what the media is saying about other people who aren't even on the field with you are saying. That's not something you should be paying attention to. Go out there, do your job, and do what we know you can do. We've seen him dominate football games. We've seen him make big plays that change the course of football games. Do that because winning cures all ailments. Any football coach will tell you that. So if you go out there, you're making big plays, you're winning, this criticism that you're hearing, it's not going to be there because you're doing what you're supposed to and winning. The criticism came heavy against the 49ers, but you lost by 32 points. You didn't touch the quarterback once, and it's your job to go get the quarterback, and you didn't do it. Trent Williams shut you down whenever you were lined up against him. And even if you lined up on the opposite side of Trent Williams, you still weren't getting to the quarterback. Yes, I know you get double teamed, you get chipped. It is what it is. So does every other linebacker in the league who has got the talent. You don't think Myles Garrett gets chipped and double teamed? I don't hear Myles Garrett complaining. So I don't really see the point of him doing this. He's saying, okay, I'm tired of the criticism. I'm tired of people trashing my quarterback. Okay, well, when your quarterback throws 3 picks in a game, I don't know what you're expecting people to do. Pat him on the back. It's okay, Dak. You'll get him next time. This isn't Little League. You played like trash, so we told you that you're trash. That's how it works. I mean, I'm not really sure what else to do here. I really just wish that the next time he has a podcast, he just talks like if he would have if the game was within 7, we lose the game. Dak Prescott throws for 3 touchdowns, 335 yards, doesn't turn the ball over. We lose by 7. Micah Parsons has a few sacks, pressures, maybe a fumble recovery, something like that. Okay, you lost the game, so you're going to hear about that, but you're not going to get the same type of criticism because look how well you played. That's one of those. Okay, well, one team made one more play than the other. We should see these teams again in the NFC Championship or whatever it is. But when you lose by 32, what compliments do we give? What are you expecting to hear? Great job being on the field. Nice job putting on your jersey. Like I don't fucking get it, man. Like it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand this. And when I heard him say this stuff and he kept talking about it, I stopped listening at that point because I really don't know what you're expecting people to do when you play that shitty. You played shitty, and we told you played shitty, and now you don't want us to tell you played shitty. So what should I tell you? I don't
No
fucking know. But
shit.
there you go. So to answer your question, JC, yes, shut up and play football. That's what I want. If he goes out there and dominates, not obviously not this week, we've got a bye week, but he plays the Rams. We dominate, by all means, have a conversation. Talk to us about it.
Yeah.
But if you don't play well, you don't even touch the quarterback, which is your job, then why are you talking at all? Like y'all didn't play well. We didn't play well. Next segment. Like what?
Yeah, he's whining about how people have stuff to say about Dallas when shit's bad, and no one says anything about
Yeah,
San Francisco or Philly when they're losing, right? It's
Oh,
okay.
except for Michael Irvin. He was
Exactly.
all happy. He was like,
Whatever, but look
yeah,
at the
Cowboys
losses.
win.
San Francisco lost on a missed field goal, which, by the way, as a Titans fan, now you
Right.
know how I feel, Chicken Wing.
I do.
okay.
Fuck you for that too. Thank you.
The Eagles
Yeah.
lost a close
Yes.
game to the Jets. Like the Jets are no pushover either. This was your game against the Niners was supposed to be a contender. This potentially the best team in the NFC, and you got fucking embarrassed. And people are going to say stuff about your franchise because they're the Dallas Cowboys. Your owner has
Yes.
set this up for fucking decades now.
I just want to jump in there real quick.
Go ahead.
Like the biggest thing that I took away is 2 things. One, Michael Parsons is I don't like when people, compare him to Draymond Green. They're like, oh my God, he's doing a podcast and he's just mouthing off. Draymond Green is a multiple-time champion.
Yeah.
If he wants to talk about
Bingo.
a podcast about gardening the next day, and people are going to tune in. You know why? Because people care what a champion has to say. So will Michael Parsons maybe be a champion one day? Yeah, maybe if he leaves Dallas.
Maybe.
You know, he'll
God damn it, Nori.
he'll
God damn it, Nori.
But he's
he's
wrong though.
he's
wrong though.
he very very possibly will break every record that Strahan and Strahan and Lawrence Taylor have done. Is very very possible. He's on the trajectory. And
Yeah.
something else that he said bothered me in the podcast. He goes, "Where's the same energy for the Eagles?" I don't know who it was, but there was a girl on First Take where she goes, do you know where the energy was for Philly? They were in the Super Bowl.
Facts.
Exactly. Yeah.
Facts.
So that's where the energy is, because Philly's gone to the Super Bowl. If Dallas got to the Super Bowl and lost, people would not be as hard on them.
But yeah,
They can't even goddamn get there. And you're talking like you're every year. That's the problem. Not DJ, obviously. Not a few of them. But there's too many of them that act like Dallas was just in the Super Bowl last year. Well, they're not even
when your owner
sniffing it.
comes out and says that your franchise is never rebuilding, you're always reloading. Reloading from what? Like seriously, you put these expectations on.
Okay.
This, yeah.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are the most loved and the most hated franchise in sports, and that is because, well, it's because of Jerry Jones, but it's also because of the fan base.
Yeah.
Now, as Nori pointed out, not me, because I don't do that. I'm done with all that. I'm not. When they go to the Super Bowl and they win it, then I'm going to talk shit. But until then, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you'll be so
But-
insufferable.
Yeah.
I will, because you know what, Mike? Listen at the pain at it. Are you serious? Look at it. You goddamn right I will be. But he also made the comment about the energy for the 49ers. Well, the Niners were in the Super Bowl within the past few years. 1, 2,
Twice. Mhm.
they were in the NFC Championship last year. And quite frankly, and I've said it, they should have beat the Eagles, but they had Christian McCaffrey lined up under center. So we can talk about this all day. I just don't know why you would even use those two as examples when they literally were just in the biggest game in the NFL and one game away from being in it, which is why they're not getting the same criticism. Plus, the Niners mollywalking. So, of course, why would they be getting criticized? They won by 32 points. So I don't know.
Yeah, and that knife cuts both ways. Dallas gets more media attention than anyone else, both positive and negative.
That's true.
Yes.
So
Yep.
when they screw up, they're going to hear about it more. That's the way it works. I mean, that's the nature of the beast.
But the problem is you got guys like Skip Bayless who will find every excuse in the book to explain why they lost. Just take the L, bro. Like, you got your ass beat. That's what it is. Just take the L.
He did the same shit with Tom Brady. Tom Brady could throw 4 goddamn interceptions and have 6 yards passing. Well, listen, there's some things.
But Tom Brady never threw 4 picks.
Tom Brady could do no
I
wrong.
understand.
Tom Brady won Super Bowls. That's
I'm
the
making,
thing.
exactly. I'm making
multiple
a point.
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Look-
thank you, Rob. I thought you were a Lions fan.
Yeah,
Parsons.
yeah. One of those other years.
Parsons complaining about media attention the Cowboys
Yeah.
get. It would be on the same level of, say, Aaron Judge complaining about everyone criticizing the Yankees after the season they had.
Yeah.
Because he knows exactly. That's why I don't say that
Exactly.
shit, because he
Yeah,
knows.
Yeah,
He knows.
So it's
Yeah.
look. There's a local sports talk radio show I listen to in the afternoons, and they put up a pretty interesting point, and I'm starting to believe this now. The Cowboys are cursed, and the curse is Jimmy Johnson.
They wish it was that simple.
So here's what it is. Dallas will not win a Super Bowl until Jimmy Johnson is in the Ring of Honor.
Dies.
Ring of Honor. I knew you were going to. Goddamn, Nori.
That's well. They
Well,
put Tom
that's
Landry in
rough.
there with his fedora. Put Jimmy Johnson like a silhouette of his hair in the Ring of Honor. You do that, and then Dallas might be winning a Super Bowl. That's ultimately what it's going to come down to.
Okay, well, let's do that.
Well, then I guess my next question would be, how do I get that information to Jerry Jones so he can just put his ass in there so we can win a title? How do I get that information to Jerry Jones?
Nah.
You know
We
Jerry
need that
won't do it?
after
No,
my
Jerry
It won't
do
be
it.
Jerry that does it. It'll be his son. This, and they're both in
Okay,
their
did y'all
80s.
see
The crazy
the
part is Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones are both in their 80s now. Did you guys not realize that? So
No, I didn't know that.
yeah. So it's
I didn't know that. I knew Jerry Jones was.
yeah. Jimmy
but
Johnson's only
not-
like a
not
year
Jimmy.
younger than him with better hair. So it's
Way better.
Did y'all see the interaction between at the Chargers game between Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson?
I heard
No.
about it. I didn't see it.
No,
I
how
saw
bad
Michael
was it?
Irvin.
It was awkward.
Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
Michael
Michael
Irvin
Irvin
and
and Jimmy Johnson were. I saw that one.
They
That
were
was great.
partying. They were having
Oh,
a
that's
great
great.
Yeah,
time.
That was his college
Yeah.
coach. Of course, it's going to be good. So
Yeah, they loved each other.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So
Jerry Jones and that was just awkward. It was awkward. It was almost painful.
I don't know what
So
else
just
Jimmy Johnson has
put
to
him
do.
in the
Like
ring.
it's Jerry Jones.
Put him in the ring.
Jerry Jones was getting no credit
is.
for all the Super Bowls.
He
that
won't.
won. So yeah,
He won't.
That's the thing. So until he puts Jimmy Johnson in the Hall of Fame, Dallas won't win a Super Bowl. And
Hell
that's
yeah.
the curse I'm calling it. So
I live for it.
Nice.
all right. So recap: I gave the Titans a
Yes,
D minus
Mike.
on their bye week report card, and DJ gave Dallas a C plus. So
Nice.
Yes.
all
Ooh,
right.
fun fact.
What's up?
Last time the Lions won a playoff game was 1991
1991.
against the Dallas Cowboys,
Yes. Get fucked.
where they won 38-6, 32 points.
Oh
cares?
my gosh. Jeez.
Okay,
You got
that's
I
it.
hate you,
Sounds
Rob.
like a whole 28.
you gotta love it.
No, no.
Okay.
I hate you.
Have a nice day.
I hate
Let's
you.
move on to our
No,
week.
I won't have a nice day. You have a nice day.
You know what? I will.
I'd like to think that this is the done trashing the Cowboys, but it's probably going to continue. Anyway, week 7 predictions for
It's not.
this season.
It never does.
Bye weeks this week. We got a lot of them. Cincinnati, Dallas, Tennessee, the New York Jets, Carolina, and Houston are all on a bye. And we're starting with Thursday night. Oh, by the way, our pick order is Phil, JC, Nori, Chicken Wing, DJ, and Rob. So, and lo and behold, we're starting with Phil's Jags. Now, first, Phil, I got to ask you, this is a hell of a stretch for your Jags. 2 games in London, no bye week afterward, come back, and then they got to play a Thursday. And when is their bye this season?
Week 9.
Jesus, still have another couple weeks for that. So,
Yeah.
but
He'll be
But
okay.
I think one thing I think they've finally mastered the London travel by just staying there or getting there a week early and staying a little longer. It seems like that seemed to work out better for them. All different ways, and the teams that flew in.
Like the Titans?
yes, exactly. What I fucking said it last week. So,
Oh, okay.
And the Bills.
yeah. So,
Facts.
well, Phil, your Jags are heading to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Saints favored by 1. How you feel about your Jags in this one?
That's silly. That's silly. I know you give the home team 3 points, but that's just silly. Jags are taking that one.
Is this related? Do you think the spread is because of the Lawrence injury?
I think the uncertainty I think plays into that, but I don't. I think Jags are going to do just fine against the Saints.
Okay. I'm going with the Jags right now, contingent on Trevor Lawrence being healthy. If he's not going to go, then I might consider changing it. So, Nori.
I'm confidently going with the Jags. I don't see how the Saints are going to beat them. I know it's everybody giving Sunday. I'm not seeing it. I think the Jaguars have a lot more talent.
All right. Chicken Wing.
I was going for the Jags anyway, but yeah, barring an injury, I might get switched. Honestly.
All right. DJ.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Jags.
All right. And Rob.
Definitely the Jags right now.
All right. On to the Sunday early games here. Las Vegas at Chicago. Because it's Chicago, is anybody picking the Bears to beat the Raiders?
If Justin Fields were playing, I confidently would pick him. If Justin Fields were playing,
Yeah.
because he's doubtful. And either way, if he plays not 100%, like the Raiders barely beat, the Packers when the Packers threw 3 picks. The Raiders kind of suck, but I think their quarterback will be better than whatever the Bears trot out there. That would be fucking hilarious if the Bears win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Didn't Jimmy
my
G
heart-
get hurt, though? Oh, did I see something like that?
Yeah, he did.
Mhm.
My heart
I
says
don't
the
know how
Bears,
hurt
but my
he
head
is,
says
but
the Raiders.
He got hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Who was your hurt?
Which, by the way, another Raiders arrest made news today.
Nope, going with the Bears.
Bullshit.
I
Bullshit.
just-
No
It was
Devontae
the
way.
next
Adams-
Raider. Yeah, it was what's his face, Jones. He violated his Chandler Jones arrested again for violating a court order. So,
Hey, that
Second
still
time in less
counts.
than a month.
That
Yeah.
counts.
I mean,
Devontae-
it's a Raider.
Devontae Adams is questionable. I just saw pop across my phone earlier
Who
this
is?
evening as well. Devontae Adams.
Devontae.
Yeah, he was limited in practice, and Jimmy G did not practice today. So
He was also limited in targets for the past 2 games, and he's not happy about that. Just throwing that out there.
good call. Good call. All right.
Yeah.
So recap. Anyone taking Chicago right now, or
No.
no?
I borderline want to. I'm so
Negative.
not joking. Like I really want to.
Yeah,
Because the
I'm
last
having
time
a
I went with them, like they beat the Commanders. I'm just worried about Justin Fields' health.
Yeah.
Because I know they could beat the Raiders. The Raiders are not impressive. They're another disappointing team. But I might be smart and just stick with the Raiders for now. I don't know, man. I'll see how I feel
As you
Sunday.
should. As you
I'll
should.
go with my heart. Let's go, Bears.
All right, Cleveland at Indy, and Indy is hobbling into this game. Richardson done for the season,
Done for the season.
Yep.
Yep.
and so pretty much feel like I can ask this one, even though Cleveland's only favored by 2. Is anyone picking the Colts to beat the Browns?
Not
No.
in the slightest.
You know what's kind of funny is that they completely used and abused Andrew Luck and never gave him an offensive line. And they're like, hey, you know what? We have a new quarterback. Let's do the same thing. Let's just not give him an offensive line. It would just be easier for Richardson if he just got an Andrew Luck jersey and just put it on. Because they'll do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was very happy with the Jags win against the Colts this last week, but it really hurt to see Gardner Minshew struggling the way he was.
I was about to ask, how weird was it playing against Uncle Rico?
Oh man, I miss that guy. I miss that guy.
He's too good.
Uncle Rico.
Yep. So, all right, Buffalo at the Patriots, and this just doesn't have the same luster it had in previous years. But Buffalo favored by 8.5. Is anyone taking the Patriots at home to beat the Bills?
Cricket.
No.
Cricket.
Not everybody wants.
No, I'm good.
Cricket.
Not.
I, don't see a
you're
lot of-
serious.
I really don't see a lot of upsets this week, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, here's
No.
one Nori could happen. You're talking about this one first. Your Giants are hosting Washington. You think your Giants pull off the upset here?
If Daniel Jones were healthy, he's never lost to the Commanders. I'd be picking him. But literally, our injury report for the offensive line is like 4 out of the 5 are hurt. They can't beat their meat right now. So I'm gonna go Washington. That was a winnable game against the Bills, and that might have inspired me. But like, Tyrod Taylor is just bad enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
I
was
will
not
say
ready.
this: the Giants have the award for the best Sunday Night Football introduction ever.
Ever.
Justin Pugh,
Straight off the couch?
Straight off the
Ever.
couch. Yes.
That was the best part of the game. Yeah, by far.
Good stuff. All right. Anybody picking the Giants to beat the Communists this week?
Cricket.
Again,
No.
not everybody at once. Yeah. So, okay.
The communists?
Cricket.
I kind of want to.
But are you?
What are you? That's the question.
Look,
I don't know.
If the Giants would have beat the Bills, then I would have taken them over the Commanders. But now, no.
Yeah.
Nah, Commanders always want to just. They always play like it's the Super Bowl against their own division opponents. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Giants on this one.
Wait, what?
You're taking the Giants?
Yeah,
You're picking the Giants.
Wow.
I am.
That was a lot of word salad. Are you picking Washington or the Giants?
The Giants. I'm picking
Okay.
the Giants.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. All right.
Now,
Good for you.
Rob,
I thought
those creamsicles were
badass
badass.
over here.
So,
See, all that did was bring back bad memories, and then I was like, "That's the Bucks we all know and love back." Because
Great
they did the
memories.
exact same thing. Oh,
Great
look,
memories,
it's
sir.
the Bucks. They're throwing interceptions again. They're fumbling the ball. They're doing everything they used to do in the creamsicle jerseys. So,
Great memory,
this
sir.
is why we don't
I
like
mean,
them.
Baker Mayfield
All right.
quarterback, so
Well, they're back in their regular jerseys and taking on the Falcons. What you got?
So we're taking the Bucks.
Okay. Okay.
all that. Yeah, Bucks.
I hate you so
Bucks.
much, Rob. You know that?
What? They're not in the creamsicle.
Whatever.
I'm complaining about the creamsicle jersey.
Nah. Mr. Day One Lions fan. Fuck out of here.
I'm day one Lions fan.
All right,
Thank you
Phil,
very
who are you
much.
taking on this one?
Yeah, I'm going with the Falcons on this one.
I'm going with Tampa. I like Tampa at home for this. Nori.
I'm going to guarantee the Falcons win, so I'm picking the Bucks.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Love it.
I hate
So if you guys want a free
Nice.
point, pick Atlanta.
Chicken wing.
Go on for the Bucks.
And DJ.
God damn it.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Bucks.
And Detroit at Baltimore. Phil, who you got?
Lions.
I'm going with Detroit as well. Nori.
Okay, is anybody picking the Ravens?
I mean,
No.
No.
I'm
It's
not.
so weird to ask that for a 4 and
I
2
am
team.
not.
Wow.
One is playing really great. One, I mean, the Lions can lose. Like the Ravens are, they're not a team of scrubs, but one is heading in the one direction, one's heading the other. I think the Lions. I think this might be a statement game for them. I think they just beat their ass, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
The Ravens also
I
have
truly
back a week
think,
removed from London too, so this is
yeah, I truly think that Lions, if they're gonna have to show something, they're gonna have to show it here. I mean, yeah, they already beat Kansas City, but they gotta show consistency. That's just my beef with them right now.
okay. All right, and on to the late afternoon games. Pittsburgh heading down to LA to take on the LA home team. Phil, who you got?
This is another heart and head one. I'd like to say the Steelers, but I think it's going to be the Rams.
I also think it's going to be the Rams as well. They've just been playing great recently. Nori.
Yeah, as long as Matt Canada's on the offensive coordinator, I'm not fucking changing my pick. I'm gonna go with the Rams.
All right, Chicken Wing.
Puka Nakua is too strong, so
Bless you.
Rams.
DJ
Okay. Yeah, definitely going with the Rams.
and Rob.
Let's make it unanimous. Let's go with the Rams.
Yeah, you picked them because you're fucking from LA. Fuck you. I hate you.
All right, and just what the doctor
What?
ordered here for the Seahawks. Cardinals at Seattle. Seattle favored by 8. Is anybody picking the Cardinals to beat the Seahawks?
Geno Smith, King of the West.
I'm
I just
picking the
don't see
King
a
of
lot
the
of
West.
Chicken Wing. I just want to.
JC. Honestly, I don't see a lot of upsets this week, brother. I just
know.
don't.
I just gotta ask him though. But Chicken Wing, I want to hear individually who you picking on this game.
Fuck this game. All right.
Oh yeah.
He's picking a tie.
I'm picking a tie. Okay. That's what I'm picking. But if I had to pick, because fuck all of you, Geno Smith, Queen of the West, Queen of the West. You're welcome.
Still royalty.
All right, Green Bay at Denver, and surprisingly, Green Bay's only favored by 1 on this one. What the fuck is going on?
I
Phil,
don't understand that.
who you got?
Have you seen them play?
Green Bay. Green Bay. Denver's just. They're just sad to watch still. They're like
Dumpster
last
fire.
year.
Let's ride.
I was so excited for them in the preseason. Like Sean Payton going in there, he'll fix Russell Wilson. They can't fix each other.
Nope.
Well, is
Matter
anyone
of fact,
taking the Broncos?
Matter of fact, I wouldn't be convinced that Broncos couldn't even cheat right.
No bounties. All right, I guess.
Is anyone going
that's
Broncos
funny.
country and riding
Smooth
with
it.
them this
Yeah.
week or no?
We're not. Sorry, not
Nah.
riding that one.
No.
No,
Alright.
no thanks. Yeah.
All right. And big division matchup: Chargers at Chiefs. Anybody taking the Chargers on this one?
No,
I
sir.
will take the Chargers to charger themselves out of this game. So
Haven't they gone 1-1 with the Chiefs the last 2 years?
Yeah, but I think they traded home games, so in this game,
yeah, it's home game. Yeah,
So
Yeah, I'll go with the Chiefs then.
You know
yeah.
how you can trade home games when the Chargers don't even have a home stadium.
Well played.
Against the Chiefs, so that's
Well
the
played.
only home game they
Well,
have.
as long as they get more paid actors and actresses to play Chiefs Chargers fans in LA,
I mean,
None of
you're
that,
right.
but-
You're right, though.
Yeah.
Not only that, but the Chargers have the best defense in the NFL right now because there's no fucking way that you're getting past the Swifties and the refs. There's no way
Yeah,
you're doing that.
Who gets more screen time, the Chargers fan or the Taylor Swift?
Ooh.
Oh, see, that's easy.
That's a great prop,
That's a
prop
good
bet right there.
question.
Prop bet.
Very,
Yeah.
very good prop bet.
No,
I'd
what's
measure
the
that.
over under on her appearances? Yeah.
Appearances on TV? 10,
10?
I would say.
I might take the over actually.
Well, I mean, this is yeah.
Yeah, I think I would too.
It is
Yeah.
CBS, so they might show more. Yeah. So.
Oh, that reminds me. So I don't want to interrupt this, but I got it because I went and got my haircut today at a place where they show the NFL Network
Yeah.
on the TVs, so I get your haircut. And
Which
these
is awesome.
motherfuckers, like, you would think they weren't like 6 weeks into the season right now because they spent a good 15-minute segment looking at folks' arrival outfits as they arrive to the stadium, just talking about their
Nice.
comfort and their style, like. And then they spent another 10 minutes asking Romeo Dobbs about his favorite Friends episode. I was flabbergasted. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? You literally have a game, and all you're talking about is this bullshit." This is what happens. You give a whole network to one league, I guess.
Yeah. Quick thing on that. If you haven't, go watch the Saturday Night Live skit with but they did the Fox NFL Sunday and turned into Taylor Swift thing. Great cameo by Travis
Jesus.
Kelce. So great.
Travis Kelce, yeah.
Yeah. So. All right, Sunday night game, one that is probably the hardest one to pick. Miami at Philadelphia. Philly favored by 2 at home. Phil, who you got?
Taking Philly.
Gross.
I'm going
I don't
with
like
Miami.
it. I don't like it, but I'm doing it.
I'm taking the Dolphins. I like what the Dolphins are doing right now. So, Nori.
I don't see why this is hard to pick. I think the fucking Dolphins are gonna just mud stop them. Eagles don't look like the same. They haven't beaten a great team all year.
This one is actually 50-50,
Nope.
even split.
Which I'm shocked because I don't know if people are just confused about the colors or what's happening right now. But I mean, the Dolphins are like, I know the Eagles were the Super Bowl last year, but last year. This year, Eagles don't look fantastic. I don't see how they lose to the Jets and then beat Miami. I don't see it.
All right, Chicken Wing.
I'm going for Miami.
All
Because
right,
fuck the Eagles.
DJ.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Miami. I don't see how Philly beats them, and quite frankly, I see Jalen Hurts turn the ball over again during this game.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob.
Taking the Fins. Fins.
All right, Monday night game. Chicken Wing. What is the injury status with your team right now?
They're all hurt.
Yeah,
Fuck
you
them
know-
all. I need to start the B team at this point. So, 'cause
Well, I
They're
think the
all
B
fucking
team of the
done.
Niners is still better than the Vikings. So,
probably true.
know.
Probably true. Okay, serious note. CMC oblique is not as bad as they initially thought. So right now he's still currently day to day.
Scared the shit out of you.
Debo
Yeah.
might sit this one because of the shoulder. Not 100% certain on that one, so he's still listed as questionable. Last I saw, but I will update. I will check that out for you right now.
All right. Well, lucky you. You're playing the Vikings, so here you go.
Yeah, it should be a bye week, right? Right? Quote unquote.
Yeah.
Should be a bye
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
No, it's Kirk Cousins in prime time, so I shouldn't have too much of an issue. To be honest.
so free. So free.
Free.
What you're saying.
That's our bye week.
Listen.
Yeah.
I said free
Okay,
last
got it.
week, and look what
Moving
happened.
on.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say free, but
Okay.
it should be.
Justin
Okay.
Jefferson's back too.
I'll
this
say
week.
free.
All right. Well,
Free.
is anybody going with the Vikings to pull off an upset against the Niners at home?
Maybe at 3:30.
It's true.
You're right. You're right.
Oh boy.
No.
Prime
no, thank you.
time.
All right. right. Well, those are our predictions for Week 7 of the NFL season. We'll next week recap how we did and look ahead to Week 8. When surprisingly, no bye weeks in Week 8. I guess it must be the Halloween thing. So yeah.
Halloween.
Yep.
Can you believe it's Halloween already?
Well, thank you everyone for joining us on this week's episode of the Sports Minorities Podcast. Once again, I'm JC, your resident Titans, Astros, Avalanche, and Spurs fan. Joining me as always are
Chicken Wing. Again, the Oracle. Fuck DJ. I will beat your ass in both fantasy leagues. You're a bitch.
Oh my
I hate you.
lord!
but not Smash Brothers. Just throwing that out there.
But you gotta win to be an Oracle, bro. I'm sorry.
This is Nori, the super happy, as you could tell, Giants fan. This is our year.
This is
This is our year to
Rob. And this is your number 1 draft year. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rob signing off, the number 1 Lions fan here. Have a great day.
Bucks.
Oh, yeah, that team.
It is Phil.
Good evening.
But,
Whoa,
sorry,
whoa, 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 whoa,
Oh,
whoa.
my bad,
Oh,
my
oh,
bad, my
oh,
bad,
easy.
my bad, my bad.
Okay. You
He-
get a little
he don't
excited. I
matter.
appreciate the excitement, though. I do. Yeah. Hey, fuck you, North. All right, don't do that. Don't do that. We'll be buddies. All right. Thanks. DJ here, Cowboys fan. Well, you know what? Let's just make it simple. Fuck Mike. How about that? Go ahead, Phil.
Nice.
That's always good.
I like that. That's a very good one.
It is Phil, a Jags fan, and we dat.
You that.
all right.
Okay. There we go. Shots fired. You hear that, Saints Nation?
Funny
Shots
part is
fired.
one of the parents of my daughter's team is a Saints fan. I'll make sure you listen to this podcast. Thank you everybody for joining us. We'll catch you next week. Thanks everyone once again for listening to the Sports Minorities Podcast. We do appreciate it. If you want to keep the conversation going, we're on Twitter at SportsMinorPod and also on Facebook at Sports Minorities. Our YouTube channel, Sports Minorities. Search on there. We live stream every now and then, just some random stuff. And you can also reach us via email, sports.minorities@gmail.com. We do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to us, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Yeah, how bad is Matt Canada, though? Seriously. I mean, how bad do you have to be before ownership says, you know what, you're not it, you're not the guy, and they get rid of you? How bad do you have to be?
What else needs to happen?
It's just, seriously, it's mind-boggling. I don't understand.
Look, I'll say this: if Jerry Jones had hired Matt Canada, he'd have job security because it's Jerry Jones hired.
Yo.
I think if after seeing the ineptitude of Matt Canada, if Jerry Jones hired him, I think there would be a riot in Dallas. I really do.